In today's video, we will be analyzing Velo and why I believe an imminent breakout is due leading into Q2. Nothing that I say is financial advice. Let's dive into the content. So coming over to the weekly time frame here, I have multi-year ascending support, which was created in 2022, and we've had 1, 2, 3, and as of last week, we've created a 4th point of contact on this support line. Now, if we analyze prior points of contact, you will notice that every time Velo's come back down to this sort of level, it's had a really nice sort of relief or an impulsive run. Now, it has been nearly over a year and a half actually. So the last point of contact we actually had was in October of 2023. Fast forward to April of 2025 is when we've had the 4th point of contact. Now, support is ideally an area where we want to see demand. We want to see the buyers sort of step in. And last week we had a good sort of candle that pushed us up. We had a wick, the buyers came in strong and have now pushed us up into, and in fact, actually breaking out of this sort of falling wedge pattern here. So you'll notice that on the macro from this 0.038 high, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, and potentially this was the 5th wave. So 5 waves down in this falling wedge pattern. Do forgive me, guys. I need to get that off. Yeah, we've had 5 waves down in this falling wedge pattern, and this is a bullish reversal pattern. Now we've corrected in these 5 waves back down to multi-year ascending support. So we're going to go and analyze this pattern quickly and what it is. Again, a falling wedge. Now coming over to this site here called OctaFX, it discusses rising and falling wedge patterns, how to find and use them in trading. So you'll notice that even from this pattern here, actually, this is a falling wedge in a prime example, right? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down, a level of resistance and a level of support. If you look at Velo, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down, a level of resistance and a level of support. Okay, and this is a bullish falling wedge. Now, when we do get the breakout of the resistance, this is where the uptrend can start getting quite impulsive. And as you'll notice, coming over to the chart here for Velo, we are getting that breakout, it looks, this week. So it looks very, very promising from that sort of start. But coming back down to these sort of patterns, and what we're looking at here is how to identify a falling bullish wedge, right? Because we're in a bullish uptrend. Now, this is just a correction that potentially is leading to another breakout. A falling wedge forms as a converging price range with both trend lines pointing down. After the breakout, the price rushes up regardless of the previous trend direction, starting an upward trend. So you can see that what we've done, we've not come, corrected and started forming a bullish wedge here. We've come from an uptrend, have put in a new local high and are doing something very similar where you've got a level of resistance, a level of support. And once you get that breakout, and especially the back test to previous resistance, that is a good sign for confirmation. So what we have right here for Velo is we've actually got a point of contact on multi-year ascending support, completing the 5th wave back down here, and we're looking for the breakout now. And I think that what would be important to see over the next sort of couple of weeks is Velo continue to push on here, potentially up to 0.0145, maybe even 6, and at that point come back for a higher low, potentially retest this trend line for support. We might even come back down to this multi-year ascending support, who knows, and then start getting this really impulsive move that starts taking us back up towards these 0.038 highs. I think that what would be crucial here for Velo to do is initially come up and come back for a higher low and then get the breakout. I think that forming some sort of like double bottom here would be a great sign to get continuation out of the woods. Now, that's not to say that Velo can't just start getting really impulsive here and start taking out targets, because it can. Okay, we need to keep our eyes on Bitcoin, which I will analyze a little bit in a second and give some analysis on that. But right now, Velo is in a falling wedge bullish pattern. It's had 5 wave corrections back down to multi-year ascending support and is looking, or potentially it has started, it started to get its breakout right here. Okay, so you can see that this week is trying to get the breakout of this resistance. So this is a bullish corrective pattern. This is not a bear market. This looks corrective. And I do believe that Velo's come back down to a key level of support, i.e. the 0.008 lows of August 2024, and found them as support. If we are in fact to, the bearish case scenarios, we roll over here and we do come back down to sweep these lows one more time. And if we come up, for example, and start rolling below, the next point of support for me would be a target, again, I've been analyzing for a while, at 0.007. Okay, now this would still remain intact via this ascending trend line of support, because if we do come down to that sort of range, you can see that from this low of 2022, you've got the wick low here of August, which would then again where this trend line would need to be to facilitate such a correction. But for now, we are holding a key level of support on 0.008, and we are looking for a breakout of this bullish reversal pattern. So it's all about getting the confirmational break here, getting a push up over the next sort of week or two, potentially to 0.01415, and then coming back for a higher low, building a base. So what we want to see is a base build, very similar to what we had back here. Okay, we had this double bottom structure and then went for the break. Right now, we kind of, I think, want to see the same thing, get a double bottom structure and then go for this break. Oh God, my mouse wouldn't let me do that. Yeah, so get a double bottom structure and then look to go for the breakout. Okay, we want to build some sort of foundation here, but these are very positive signs, and I think that a breakout is imminent as long as we can hold this low at 0.008 and get back a few levels of key resistance. So we've got resistance above, guys. If this is the local low, retracing back to the 0.038 high, these are your key resistance levels we need to see Velo break over the next couple of weeks into the next couple of months, ranging from 0.015, which is potentially where we could get that run up into resistance and then come back for a higher low before going for the break. Okay, so main to keep on your radar, 1.5, 1.8 and 2.2. You can see 2.2 is a major level of resistance that was previously support. 1.8, you've got a cluster of resistance here, and 0.013, again, we've been trying to break above for the last sort of 5 to 6 weeks. So we've got some roads ahead, some roadblocks ahead, but this is a very bullish pattern. We are breaking out of the falling wedge. We've got tailing volume here, which means that the selling pressure is coming to an end, momentum is ending, and bullish takeover is potentially coming into fruition here. So some very key signs, guys. That's the bullish falling wedge and imminent breakout. And if Velo does get the breakout and start taking out this 0.0039 high, I think that the next sort of targets we could be looking at, guys, if I get the 1272 and the 1618 on here, we could be looking for a push up towards 10 cents. Okay, which as you know, if you watch the channel, is the Adam and Eve target we've been analyzing for many months, and this low might have just indicated that the next 1618 target is towards that 10 cents once we break out of 0.039. So all things to keep an eye on here, guys, is this level of support. If it does get lost, you've got 0.007 as the next foundational level of support over the couple of weeks if we're to come up and roll over, for example. But if not, and we can come up and build some sort of base, I think that the key levels of resistance to break are between 0.015 and 2.2, and then you've got the road back to 3.9 and eventually to 10 cents. I hope you've enjoyed the content, guys. From Chart Nerd TA, take care. Peace out.